Hello everybody, happy month of Halloween, October. Tonight is the first horror game I'm going to be covering for the month, or Halloween related. I wouldn't say this is quite a horror game, but it fits with the theme of the month. So, let's start. Yes, I need a haircut, that's out of the way. Shoutouts. Okay. Krestov, Mendeltudo, Silver Fox. Check her out on Instagram. It's Silver Fox. I think there's a number. I'm not sure. You'll find her. Christian Prada, Steven Zusanaga, Subu, X-Cute Kitten X. Check her out on YouTube. Marcio Luma, Super Medic Gaming, and Gaming Cola. Thank you guys for following. Absolute pleasure. Thank you. Alright, so today, you know I'm not scripted, but just going to let you all know, here's notes. Okay, these are just some notes on, because there's a lot to cover. And let's get comfortable. And, you know, as you already know, I'm hanging out in the corner. Got some trivia rolling above me, and the gameplay hanging out over, no, it's hanging out over there, I'm almost certain. Anyway, Castlevania Lords of Shadow. We're covering it on the 360. This game, is it a hit or a miss? It's a 3D Castlevania game, and most of them have been either tragic nightmares or mediocre affairs at best. So, let me give you a little history on this game first. Originally, it was developed not as a Castlevania game, just under the name Lords of Shadow. They figured it would, you know, Mercury Steam and, you know, the developers, publishers figured it would fit better as a Castlevania game. So, they put some Castlevania on the logo, on the label, and added to change some assets, blah, 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 blah. That's the condensed, short, to-the-point version of the game. Alright? This is the first part of Mercury Steam's trilogy, which was done in conjunction with Kojima Productions, which I think is still fucking awesome for this game. It's not canon, however, I consider at least the first part, the first Lords of Shadow, I consider this the very beginning of the series, at least for the character of Gabriel Belmont being the first Belmont. That's how I look at it. It's not canon, like I said. Anyway, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, okay. So, story. Let's do this. I had to write a few things down because I want to make sure I get the point across. First off, the game is a love story. All right? The game will make us ask, how far, what will a man do for the one he loves? How far will he go? Will he sell his soul? You know? Will he forsake death itself to bring back one he loves? Will he defy all laws of creation and life? I'll say this game does have a very good story, and you got to play it. And just letting everybody know the gameplay, I only did the first 2 or 3 levels. I don't want to give away anything with this game. If you haven't played it, be the judge by the end of this video and tell me if you think it's worth it. So, let's go into it. Alright. Let's start with the visuals. Okay, first thing I want to touch on. Alright, blah, blah, blah. The game has some incredible detail, design. The 3D models are amazing. The special effects look awesome. The environments themselves, especially like my favorite stage is the Waterfalls of Agartha, which I did not put in the gameplay. It's absolutely stunning and gorgeous. The environments vary from dreary, dark, and drab to actually bright and somewhat cheerful, you know, giving a little bit of hope. Then it goes to certain places are very macabre and downright devious and satanic and just horrifying. The characters are so well created and well detailed. Wonderful interpretation of the Castlevania lore, and there is plenty of it here to take in. Let me see. Okay, yeah. Alright, again, I just don't want to forget things because there's a lot, like I said, to talk about here. Anyway, even the regular enemies, the non-boss battles, the non-boss enemies are all just, they're also incredibly detailed. You can go into your options, into your inventory, and look up at the bestiary, which the bookwork, so to speak, and you'll see in the options. It just adds to the Castlevania flair and the lore. The bosses, there are some massive bosses in this game. And at that time, you know, Shadow of the Colossus and that inspiration was still there. You'll see some massive bosses in this game, believe me. The Lords of Shadow themselves all have names, have histories, have backstories. Everything in this game, it just has a great lore. But the visuals, even from 2010, still hold up to this day. Again, the lighting, the special effects, the character models, the texture work, the environments, the area of detail. This world feels like it has been through some shit. It really, really does. And I think the visuals get that across absolutely incredibly. Okay? This is one beautiful looking game, even from 2010. So you know what? And this game's 10th birthday just passed last Monday. Wow. 1 week ago, this year, this game turned 10 years old. Happy birthday, Lords of Shadow. Now, let's get to the audio, the sound design. First off, Robert Carlyle and, Patrick Stewart and Robert Carlyle give an incredible performance as their characters. I'm biased towards these two actors. I love them, even if they were just reading a script while taking a shit. I love their acting, I love their voices, and I think they both carry their characters, Gabriel Belmont and Zobek, across very well. All the voice acting is actually pretty good in this game. The music is epic. This game has such a sweeping orchestral score. Every area, every stage, the music seems like it was literally composed by going there. From the dank village in the beginning where you fight the werewolves and the warg, to even the waterfalls, to Dr. So-and-so's laboratory. Not going to give it away. The music in this game is absolutely wonderful. Definitely worthy. If they have a vinyl of this, and I'm going to look it up, I will be buying it. 2 of them, one to open, one to listen to. I can't say enough about how great the score is. Most Castlevania games have a great soundtrack. This one, for a non-canon retelling of the Castlevania franchise, I think this has the best soundtrack of any Castlevania game, and I'll argue that against Castlevania 4 and Symphony of the Night. The sound effects in this game, from the whip flailing, from the enemies screeching and screaming, from tearing enemies to pieces, it is a feast for the ears. I love the sound design. I think that the score, the sound effects, the voice acting, the sound design, all culminates with the visuals to tell one awesome story. I think that this game is actually game design the way it should be, at its finest. Blending visuals and sound to create a world, on top of the design of the game itself. Okay, now, the gameplay and the controls. This is where we have a lot to cover. Alright. First off, this game came out at a time where action games were, God of War style inspired action games were the shit. Every game had to, or every main series had to have some sort of God of War action game with its name on it back in the late 2009s, early 10s. The combat in this game, it will feel like God of War. I assure you, the game makes it its own. The combat is deep. It's satisfying. You will be gaining experience points. You will be gaining new abilities, new skills. Your sub-weapons, which Castlevania is known for, has cut it down to 4. But those 4 weapons, indeed, will get their own upgrades and new abilities. You will be getting magics. You will be getting light magic and dark magic, each adding more depth to the gameplay. By using light magic when you attack an enemy, you're not going to hit them as hard, but you'll steal life from them and replenish your own. Using dark magic, or shadow magic in this case, will do more damage. It will also make you impervious to certain attacks, but it drains really quick. So you have to balance it. You want to go for more power and stronger attacks, use the shadow magic. You need to play a little defense while maintaining an offense, you go with light magic. perfect balance, perfect harmony. Or stay neutral and keep using your vampire killer cross chain, or I call it the vampire killer still. Or keep using that to maintain a balance between defense and offense itself. There is mild platforming. The stages in this game, some are somewhat linear. They're not open world. That was Lords of Shadow 2, and I'll talk about that another day. The game has an open world, but a contained feel. Those stages are linear, but there is a perfect balance of going off the beaten path to find, be it a story relic, a dead knight with a tome on him to tell you what happened. It fills in the backstory. There is some exploration, but the levels it is contained. So you very rarely will you get lost, but you will enjoy exploring these areas. The gameplay, the action, the platforming, it strikes a perfect balance. It really does. Between combat, exploration, and jumping, platform design, climbing. The game balances all three, and never once will you actually get bored. I will say this game, and the boss battles, every single boss battle is not just attack, attack, attack. There is strategy involved, there is timing involved, there is blocking, there is dodging, there is grabbing, there is throwing, there is everything. This game gives you every type of boss battle you would want, and the kitchen sink. I assure you of that. It's got so much going for it in the gameplay department, and it never gets stale. Okay, that's what a lot of action games, they feel like they wear out their welcome. As great as the Uncharted series is, I felt that it was this, especially the first one. It just got boring. This game, you have a big diversity of enemies, a great diversity in boss battles. The gameplay keeps throwing and switching it up. It's not just walk and kill every enemy. Like I said, it balances out all the great aspects of platforming, of action, of combat, and light RPG elements. At its heart, Castlevania was always an action game first and foremost, okay? You can only thank Symphony of the Night to introducing the RPG elements. This game strikes the perfect balance. There's plenty of replayability here, finishing each stage on different difficulties to unlock the hardest difficulty. There are trials within each stage. For example, kill X amount of enemies with a bomb, with a grenade that they throw at you. All to 100% the stage. There is a DLC, which includes the Forgotten One, which has got to be the most nightmarish boss battle in history. Oh my god, it was so fucking hard. But at the end of the day, Lords of Shadow plays like a Castlevania game should. And it's a shame that this trilogy went out on Lords of Shadow 2 the way it did. I don't want to talk about that right now. I will cover that game another day. But let's break it down. This game has gorgeous visuals, great soundtrack, great voice acting, phenomenal gameplay, satisfying combat, perfect balance of exploration, tons of fun. It's a cheap game to obtain. I definitely say check this game out. Okay? It's not a lot of money. You can probably get it for 10 to 20 bucks tops. Play the 360 version. It looks the best and plays the best, at least in my opinion. I want to add one thing in here. Lords of Shadow does not get the love it deserves. It is quite possibly the best 3D Castlevania game. In my opinion, and it's my opinion. I think it's the best Castlevania game. Period. Canon or not.
They sent you?
I played this game. I must have beat it at least 10 times from October 2010 to February of 2011. I couldn't stop playing this game. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed my review of Lords of Shadow. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything. Yes. Okay, I covered everything I wanted to. Again, everybody, check this game out. I assure you, you won't be disappointed. I'm John. This is Elite Gamers United. I will see you all in a couple of days with my next horror game. Happy Halloween month of October. See you guys later.